Hello, I'm James Thurman, and I've been teaching metalsmithing and jewelry making for more than 20 years. Over that time, I've collected many handouts from a myriad of different sources. I started assembling them under broad topics to be ultimate resources for students and teachers alike. If you have some great handouts that I should add, definitely email me. I've created this short video overview of my different ultimate compilations to help share these resources with a larger audience. I won't go into detail about each handout, but just share some of the reasons why I found it helpful. Feel free to go to my website, jamesthurman.com, and download the PDF from my resources page if you like. For this compilation of soldering, I just wanted to put together a couple basic introductory sources for beginners to use in our classes as we start teaching students how to solder. Probably as always, I'm starting with Timocrite. If you've looked at any of my other compilations, you'll start seeing some of the basic books that I'll go back to and pull excerpts out of those. This incorporates both fusing and soldering, which fusing isn't sort of typically aware of for beginners until they maybe do it by accident. But this book has a great way of just explaining everything and combining it with really beautiful finished pieces. It really gets into the details of it, and wonderful reference. So, students might see demonstrations in class and they don't remember all the different nuances of everything the instructor is saying, and they can go back to these resources and refresh their memory on things. I think we have a large copy of this put up in the studios just to remind people of what possibly might have gone wrong, and so they might be able to correct it in the future. Beginners usually don't invest in Opie Untrecht's book because of the cost, but I include some excerpts here just because it has a great range of setups that a lot of times, particularly beginners, might not think of. I've actually made a lot of these just as different samples and demonstrations, and each setup has its own challenges, and so going through these can show you all the different kinds of things that you might run into as you're soldering different components together. And might even give you some design ideas for pieces that you wouldn't have normally thought of. In the PDF, this is black on white, and I think it got reversed in the conversion process for this video. Sorry about that, but this has some great soldering jig setups and ways of setting your components up and wiring them as you get set to solder them together. And if you've seen in some of the other handouts, this goldsmithing book really gets into the technical aspects of it, but I've included it here because of some of the larger kind of wiring setups as you get into some trickier ways of soldering different pieces together and the ways that they can be wired up then. Clips too is something that I think that's oftentimes underutilized, particularly by beginners. And this is from that Swiss apprenticeship textbook, but has some really wonderful illustrations of different approaches. And I think a lot of these might even give design ideas for pieces not just how to technically solve a problem that you're already facing. So I hope these different resources and compilations have been really useful to you, and please do, if you have some handouts of your own or some other ones that you found particularly helpful that you use a lot, please get in touch and I can add it to these, and would be happy to share all the info. So hope it's useful for students and teachers alike. Enjoy. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you can hear from me when I post future videos. Thanks for stopping by.